Hello and welcome to Artistry podcast. I am Jay,
And I'm Sev.
and today we will try to talk about Kim Jong-il, which is a famous, he was a famous comic book
it's
artist.
a sad story. Maybe I should take it from here since I was the one who wanted to talk about it. Kim Jong-il, as you say. I don't know how to pronounce his. Yeah, he's
Probably.
Korean. He was a Korean master of the arts. He is mostly known as a comic book artist, but that doesn't really cut it for how good he was. The dude was insanely talented, and he died at the age of 47 years old, which is incredible. It's like if he died of a heart attack. And it was just shocking to me because I've been a massive fan of Kim Jong-il, and I watched his videos. He seems like such a kind-hearted dude, and he just seems like he was having fun with his art. Like all of his work embodies the things that we've been talking about in this podcast, which is just have fun with your work and always seek to improve, but above all else, just be like a passionate for your art. Don't let yourself burn out. And he basically was the embodiment of that. He was so incredibly talented. I'll speak about him further on, but yeah, dying of a heart attack after I saw him in Paris doing this basically a live drawing in the PSG football camp. It was kind of surreal. Basically, they were Messi and Neymar and all that shit. They were practicing on the pitch, and Kim Jong-il was invited to like assist the training and just draw. And he did an amazing illustration, like 2 hours, a huge illustration. You guys can check it out, of a free kick from Messi. Like where the footballers were watching him draw, like, what the fuck, that guy's good. And that was the last thing Kim Jong-il ever did, because he went then to the airport and he was going to travel to New York. And apparently he was feeling like tightness in the chest. He went to the hospital and he never got out. That was the end of him. And that is an incredibly sad story. I was like shocked to hear that like the art community is like grieving over the dude. And it is just amazing how this guy, who I think he understood English, but I never actually saw an interview of him speaking English. But of this dude who just who everyone just amazingly loved. Now, I'll go further into depth about how good he was, but yeah, that's what I wanted to bring to the podcast, at least at the beginning.
Yeah, and we'll probably, derail as usual and rant about other stuff. I mean, that's just the common.
Mm-hmm.
We
also go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have already some people chatting a little bit. We have Tijolo18, Baby Bedwetter, saying hello.
Yeah.
And apparently people are surprised that we have an art stream.
I've been threatening it for a while, but it's hard to like do art and communicate with people at the same time. It has to be like in a certain format, and I hope that I can do it today. But I just had to do an art stream as an homage to Kim Jong-il, who was an amazing talent. Like I've said, I've threatened the art stream for a long while. And now this seems an opportunity as good as any to do it.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, I haven't even seen you make art, and I'm curious about the glove you're using. It looks like a reverse kind of Bowman glove, like where they have the two fingers or something. You have like the opposite. Yeah, it's like the opposite of the archers. Because the archers have the other fingers.
Yeah, the ones
protected.
on top. Yeah. If I want to shoot a bow upside down.
I'm just gonna call this the reverse archer glove now.
It is just a drawing, so that when I'm drawing on top of my screen, my fingers are like not feeling so much the heat, or not putting input onto the drawing table. I'm gonna try so I can basically show you, so my hand can slide better, and while I'm drawing.
Yeah, it makes sense. So I'm curious, is this how you made your illustrations for your book as well?
Pretty much, yeah. No,
okay.
I also do this for my illustrations at work.
Mm-hmm. Because I thought it wasn't all hand drawn. I thought you had to like use some shapes or something using the computer to make shapes, but I guess it's all handmade.
Dude, it's gotta be. I use the computer basically to refine it, but the initial sketch is pretty much It's pretty much all handmade.
Okay. Yeah. All right, that's cool. I see. It's kind of. I've seen videos on how to draw or like pictures, illustrations, and I guess everyone really does it, right? You just start with the basic shapes, and then you sketch out the details afterwards.
Yeah, I'm going a little bit into details early on in the stage. Usually people give more geometry. For example, I'm having a little bit struggle over here on the chin area. I guess that's good enough. Fuck it.
Make a manly chin, like Jim Carrey in that movie.
Nah. I'm making my boy Kim. This is an homage to Kim Jung-gi.
It's your boy Kim. Okay, cool. So, I mean, you said you weren't sure he spoke English.
I mean, he was in so many Comic Cons. He was beloved by so many artists around the world who did speak English amongst them. He went to a lot of, I follow his Instagram, so the dude is you'll see tons of pictures of him with other famous artists who are English. So I suppose he either understood superficial English or whatever. But each interview I've seen of Kim, he only speaks Korean.
Oh, all right, okay. Because I mean, you said he's super famous, but he only drew Korean comic books. Are they famous? Are they translated?
That is the shocking of Kim Jong-hee. He did do some comic books and manga and Korean comic books, but he's mostly known for his amazing talent, not so much his he's known for his skill and not exactly his artwork. Because his artwork, if you guys look around, I might even put it on stream a little bit, is that he just sits or just stands and goes up to a wall. I'm not talking even an A4 page or anything. He goes up to a wall and he just starts scribbling. He has no reference. He has no need for reference. He has no need for guiding lines, no sort of sketch lines, nothing. He just immediately puts pen, ink on the wall, and everything he draws is perfect, or it's perceived perfect. There's a very funny video of him where he's basically just speaking with an audience and just painting and going and just doing this amazing soldier helmet with all the details and the buckles and the goggles and the soldier's expression. And he was doing that kind of offhandedly while speaking to an audience, so yeah, because I'm speaking with you, I've already made 4 mistakes, but I'm just gonna keep going because it doesn't matter. And the audience is oh, fuck off, fuck you.
So it's kind of what you're trying to do right now.
Yeah.
Talk and draw. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm just half speaking to you and half trying to look information about this guy because I haven't really ever heard of him. I mean, some of his art looks
it's
familiar,
messy.
So
It's so he's very known for doing this messy art style where he just draws upon he draws a human figure, then he draws another human figure, then he draws another human, then he draws an elephant, then he draws a car crashing against the elephant, then he draws a balloon flying above everyone. He's very he basically just draws on a whim. What he's known for is his amazing style and how effortlessly he just draws everything.
Mm-hmm. So this is a person who's been drawing since he was a kid, then probably. If he doesn't need any reference anymore. So I'm guessing he's not putting geometric shapes or sketches.
No, he does. He just goes ham on it, which is, to me, it is unthinkable how a person can do that so easily, without any without years of training.
Mm-hmm. Oh look, how fun! I see a picture of him using the reverse archer glove.
Yeah, the reverse archer glove is quite common in the world of arts.
Okay.
But yeah, the dude, how to explain how amazing this guy is for people who don't know art? So I've already explained that he is amazingly talented. He has people claim that he has photographic memory because he actually didn't just draw things without reference. Mm-hmm. He says that no, it's not so much for photographic memory. He just said every day he just loves drawing, so he just goes out and draws and draws and draws. And
right.
So that is a good way to remember stuff, is just to keep drawing it, right? So he builds up a huge visual library for it. And afterwards, he also explains that it is not important to be precise with your drawing. It's only important to be 40% there. What he means is, if you're going to draw an engine, you don't actually need to draw each screw of the engine. You don't need to draw every cylinder. You don't need to make the reflection of the plate, the texture. Basically, all you need to do is just draw the general shape of an engine.
Yeah.
And he probably say that there's a big cylinder up here that has another smaller cylinder in front. It has this weird wedge shape in the middle. And then it has like these other side bits where pipes come out of from.
So basically, he is an AI artist, because that's what AI did, right? It was like it looked like something, but it wasn't quite that thing.
He basically just gave the illusion of 40% there. He just draw like enough of a tank, enough of a motorbike, enough. I can't even draw this shit to save my life. Just to show how fucking effortlessly he does this shit. He just made it look so easy, but all it really mattered was for you to have part of the shape done, laid out, and the audience will fill in the blanks. You don't need to actually have the exact schematics, and that's how he applied to everything. Like he doesn't know the geometry of an elephant besides what he's seen before, and he doesn't know the geometry of cars. Like he's drawn cars before, but he doesn't know like the make, the model, how some of the rear lights look, how Mercedes has its leather couching, how is it's designed. He just basically draws what he imagines in his head, and he tries to go as approximate as possible. 40% there is good enough. Then he just moves to the next thing. So that's one thing. That's why he's so good. The other is like in drawing, you have perspectives. And it's very common to have 2-point perspective. You've seen this a million times. Where if you want to draw a cube, you say, oh, there's the cube has this angle, and then you can draw a cube using the two perspectives in a space. Yeah, in a space. So basically, you have. If you're looking at the stream, you can.
I am now. Yeah.
You can see that basically everything goes. Every line basically merges to the horizon, and this is a 2-point perspective.
Oh, interesting.
Then you have 3-point perspective, which is this. Let me just cancel everything out here. 3-point perspective is when you have a third axis. So basically you have the horizon, then you have a top. This is a very gimmicky perspective. Not many people use it, only because it's only useful if you want to give depth, like a building. So let's imagine, for example, that I have a skyscraper over here. And you want to show. Oh my god, I can't even do this very well. It's so difficult. Basically, it gives you a third angle. Perspective is also kind of fucked up.
See, I wouldn't even know that's how they were made. I knew of like these, I don't know what you call them, but I guess the focus points or
focus points. I guess the perspective point, this one should actually be beneath, but it basically gives you a third axis to which to draw. And this axis is kind of gimmicky because usually to have a third point, this point would need to be like way high into the sky so that the angles wouldn't be as sharp as they are now. So that you can actually make something a bit more sensible, more like a building. In which case, the building now has gentler curves, because usually when the perspective should always be towards your eyesight, and when you're at ground level looking up at a building, you don't see it curve upwards as much. You only see basically a straight line in front of you, but it's ever so slightly curving, and that's why the third point perspective is kind of difficult to use, because usually you don't have that much real estate on a canvas. How people compensate that, though, is when you use a fisheye perspective. And that is what Kim Jung-gi was amazing at. Like, basically, he just drew things inside a sphere using the 3-point perspectives. And I'm not even going to attempt to replicate this. I'm not good enough. I'll never be good enough. That is some high-tier shit that he could draw without reference from memory, flawlessly, ink on fucking paper, on a fisheye perspective, and he just was having fun. I see if I can just...
Come on, Seb, don't say never. It's like
No,
one
never.
of those jokes. There's like a post about like a 52-year-old ripped guy, and then there's a question like, oh, what's your excuse?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
some young kid, oh, I'm not 52. Look, you can get there, Seb. Once you're 47, maybe.
Nah. The 47, I need another 40 years on top of 47 to maybe understand the simple schematics of it. So I'm
Well, let's make another episode when you're 47 on your birthday, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
we'll see.
I'm gonna try to see him doing a fisheye lens, and I'm gonna put it on stream a little bit. Oh my god, this guy just... Oh my god. Like, I'm just gonna put these images very quickly on my display capture. Like, these images the dude has, where he's just going ham. He's painting a fucking wall, and he does this in a day. It is insane to me. Absolutely monstrosity. This one isn't actually the fisheye. I'm gonna like, his fisheyes are a bit more. This isn't fisheye either. It's just first person. This person. There you go. This is a fisheye perspective. He just does this shit.
It's kind of roundish,
Yeah, baha.
like the lens.
Yeah. Like he mimics. Oh my god! It's just a mess of body shapes.
I see what
He just makes such complex designs. But I can see some construction lines though. Ha! See.
It looks very messy. I mean, from here, I don't know. It's a kind of a small picture on the screen right now,
Yeah.
but it looks quite messy.
I mean, he is pretty much like, he enjoys these messy like depictions where there's so much action going that each point of the picture has a mini story to tell, and it is in a fisheye perspective. But I also see construction lines, so thank God for that. He didn't just draw this from memory. So I assume he actually did some visual references. Like, the buildings look amazing, high detail. The cars, like I said, the bullet holes on the cars, the action going on everywhere, and it's all in fisheye also perspective. Christ, King Junji, an absolute beast of a man.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He was pretty
So
good.
did you ever read any of manhwas he made art for, or he's just famous
Nah, because I'm not much of a
Jung?
King Jung-hee, because I'm not much of a manga reader. I don't really like that art style.
Manhwa.
So
I'm checking, like, a Korean manga is called manhwa.
Manhwa. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was the Spanish
Apparently it's
invented
different.
But
Right. Go on.
yeah, I'm not so much of a manhwa fan. I never really cared for it. I only follow the dude because of his amazing talent. Like, and when he does these murals, like full of detail and shit, that's the sort of thing I can spend hours looking at it. I was a huge fan. When he died, it was so sudden. I honestly felt like a family member died. Because even though I never met him and I don't know the dude, and I've only known him for like 2 years or whatever, like on the art scene. I've only known him for 2 years because I saw an interview or like an artist that I did follow was speaking madly about him. This dude, like, I'm a good artist, I'm a renowned artist, I've made a living as an artist. Not many people can claim that. And I think, you know what, I'm pretty good at what I do. Then I met King Jung-ji, and suddenly I realized that I'm a novice. I don't actually, like, this dude makes art look easy, and that's the biggest compliment that you can make, like a craftsman. Like, when you say that, oh dude, when you look at King Jung-ji draw and you feel like, oh, I can do that, it's easy, all I need to do is I'll just do what he does, and then you realize, no, he's that good. He just makes everything look effortless.
It is interesting, like, how much experience affects your skill, right? Like, I remember I'm getting completely derailed now, but
Go ahead.
I remember I was in China and I was to play badminton with a dude, and he was a little, he had a belly, he had a nice beer belly or whatever belly it was, something else. I'm like, oh, there's no way this guy can play well. I was a little naive at that time. And then the dude just rips it because he has technique. It doesn't matter what you look like, or like, you don't know the experience that the body hides. It doesn't matter what it looks like.
Sometimes all you need is that muscle memory, just knowing what to do in any given situation. And as long as the dude has that, like, he doesn't need to overcompensate with strength or with skill. All he needs to do is use that experience he has.
He just draw every day for, I don't know, I guess since he was 15 or something. I don't
Probably younger. The dude probably started drawing out of the womb.
Oh, certainly. He was leaving like a cave painting in his mother's womb. Certainly.